In this video, I'm going to go over travel news, international flying travel news, as well as news about Guatemala and Colombia as well. Follow along. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located, and thanks for watching. I'm DC Born Rob. If you're new to my channel, my whole goal is to encourage you to travel, whether to another country, another state, or another city. Get out of the house. I know it's difficult to do right now, but if in any way I encourage you to get out and travel or motivate you in any way, please go down and take a second and hit the subscribe button. Click the bell to be alerted of any new videos that I have coming out. And so this video is going to be about travel news, not just flying travel news, but news about Guatemala and Colombia, which you know are my favorite two spots in the world. Well, yeah, my favorite two travel spots to get to, although I cannot get to them right now. I want to take a second to say thank you for all the bosses out there that are holding it together, and even more specifically, my boss. So that's my boss, Roger, for he is making something out of nothing. It is a struggle right now, I know, for a lot of businesses, but we have made it over these years and have flourished because of the leadership of my boss. So I want to take a second to say thank you to him and all the other bosses out there that are running small businesses that are keeping things together, whether by a rope or a string. Thanks for the work that you do. If there's anybody out there who watches my channel, especially any of my subscribers who watch my channel, and you do have somebody who has lost their job, or if you have lost your job, or if you own a business, please contact me. I'd like to interview some of these people just to see what life is like across the country here. And if anybody is outside of the country as well, as you can see, I've done quite a few interviews recently, and I kind of enjoy that, and I've gotten good feedback from it as well. Like just passing on information to you guys, number one. But on to the news. So first, this is according to the Points Guy. It's thepointsguy.com. According to him, Guatemala is currently scheduled to reopen for commercial flights on August 18th. Is it true? We don't know. And even if that is set right now, we don't know, because I know that's only, 3 weeks away roughly, but things can change. But according to local U.S. Embassy, the Guatemalan government has closed its borders to most non-Guatemalans. Travel within the country is highly restricted, and of course there's a mandatory curfew. Now, Colombia is still scheduled to reopen on September 1st. Will that happen? I mean, that's a hot month and a few days away. And I don't see it happening, and I don't believe people who live there see that happening. And we're talking about international travel. So if it will happen, we don't know. There are spikes. They've had spikes recently across Antioquia, as well as in Medellin in general, and Colombia. While spikes have raised, they've still kept that same date. So we shall see. Now, according to the Medellin Herald, Medellin Mayor Daniel Quintero announced July 28th and that's today, I believe so, July 28th, that following a July 24th initial test, a follow-up test confirmed that he is indeed infected by COVID-19. And this is just 1 week after Antioquia Governor Luis Fernando Suarez also was hit by the virus. So that's the mayor and the governor of Colombia, of Medellin, Colombia, that both have COVID-19. So that gives you an idea as far as how things are going. Both men reported that they aren't suffering any serious effects, and both are now in protective isolation, although not in a hospital, and doing their jobs via telephone and internet connections. Meanwhile, the Antioquia departmental government announced that another 1,975 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed there on July 27th, 1,239 of which are in Medellin. Another 18 people in Antioquia died July 27th from the virus, 8 of whom were in Medellin. So to date, 26,117 people in Antioquia. And for those who don't know, Medellin is in Antioquia. I don't know if it's called the county. Somebody help me who lives there. What's the relation between Medellin and Antioquia? But 2,600, 1,017 people in Antioquia have contracted the virus, of which 10,735 cases remain active, 15,017 already recovered. And of the active cases, Medellin accounts for 3,949. In total, 489 COVID-19 patients were hospitalized in Antioquia, with 281 of those in intensive care units, ICU units, and accounting for 77% of total ICU capacity. Okay. The next story is sons of ex-Panama president held in Guatemala on U.S. charges. This is according to Sonia Perez, I believe the Associated Press. This one's dated July 7th. I thought this story was interesting enough to pass on, though. So the sons of former Panamanian President Ricardo Martinelli Linares and his brother Luis Enrique stand inside a holding cell at the court building in Guatemala City, Tuesday on the 7th of 2020. The brothers were detained Monday on an international warrant from Interpol on charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Again, according to the Associated Press in Guatemala City, the two sons of former Panamanian President Ricardo Martinelli will be held in jail in Guatemala pending hearings Friday. Officials said Tuesday, as the U.S. government seeks their extradition for their alleged role in a bribery and money laundering scheme. Luis Enrique, 38, and Ricardo Alberto Martinelli, 40, were arrested Monday in Guatemala as they tried to board a private plane out of the country. The brothers were supposedly headed to Panama with stops scheduled in El Salvador and Nicaragua. A criminal complaint was unsealed Monday in New York, alleging the brothers facilitated $28 million in bribes from Brazilian construction company Odebrecht to a close relative who was then a high-ranking government official in Panama. According to a statement from the U.S. Justice Department, each brother faces a charge of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Both are also sought by the Panamanian government for allegedly receiving more than $20 million in bribes from Odebrecht. Panama originally sought their arrest in 2017. The brothers have denied all allegations. Their families said in a statement Monday that they had hoped the situation would be quickly resolved. This one's from the Medellin Herald. Former Medellin Mayor Federico Gutierrez from 2016 to 2019 once again is helping to move Medellin into the limelight via an interview published in the latest edition of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, Finance and Development Monthly magazine. The former mayor, now a national political commentator and seen as a likely pre-candidate for Colombia's presidential elections in 2022, enjoyed a well-recognized reputation here as an unpretentious, transparent, bright, and exuberant person who was happiest, often actually joyous, when meeting and listening to ordinary citizens, especially when walking around Medellin's poorest neighborhoods. That's got to be a good thing. Anytime anybody enjoys getting out among the public, it's a good thing. Okay, my next story, again, according to the Associated Press, jailed Guatemala ex-health minister dies of COVID-19. This is dated July 21st. Guatemala City, again, according to the Associated Press, a former Guatemala health minister jailed on corruption charges has died of complications related to COVID-19. Hospital Roosevelt in the capital confirmed the death Monday night of Jorge Villavicencio, who had been admitted July 10th after a medical review requested by prosecutor's office confirmed that he was infected with the new virus. The penitentiary system director earlier had opposed Villavicencio's request to be transferred, according to Juan Francisco Sandoval, head of the special prosecutor against impunity office, who said he regretted the death. Villavicencio was health minister during the administration of President Otto Perez Molina from 2012 to 2015. He was arrested in December 2019 when he turned himself in after a period of hiding. Perez Molina is also jailed on corruption charges, but has been held in a hospital for unrelated medical issues. Villavicencio was accused of involvement in a system that collected bribes in exchange for government purchasing and construction contracts. Villavicencio also always denied the accusations. "We never accept bribes." This is his quote. "We never accept bribes or donations or anything outside of the law," he told reporters the day he turned himself in. As of Monday, 203 people in Guatemala's prison had tested positive for the new coronavirus, and 18 had died. Several other prisoners being held on corruption charges have been transferred to hospitals. Guatemala has reported more than 40,000 confirmed infections and some 1,500 COVID-19 deaths. Medellin gets extra COVID-19 physician support. On a related front in Colombia, Mayor Quintero announced July 27th that Medellin just won extra physician support to confront a continuing support of COVID-19 cases, following a special reunion with officials of Colombia's principal medical trade associations, the Colombian Society of the Antioquia and the Antioquia Society of Anesthesiology and Reanimation, the Colombian Association of Critical Medicine and Intensive Care, the Colombian Society of Emergency and Emergency Specialists, and the Colombian Association of Internal Medicine all made commitments that will allow providing complete health care to patients who require it in the following stages of the pandemic, according to the mayor. This story is from News Americas, New York City, dated Friday, July 24th. And now we're on to travel news. Travel. We got to get out of the house. I have to get out of the house. By the way, I did get out of the house. There's a video coming on that soon. I have a few videos that I'm working on now, and I'm also moving. It is just crazy. I am working. I am packing. I need to get out of this place. Where I live is hell. I'm not going to show or say anything about it right now because I need to get out of here first. And once I do, I'll show the whole story, just like I show everything else. But anyway, this is regarding travel, general travel. So again, according to News Americas, for reopening news and topics, the following is updated travel information. Okay, so St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris has closed the country's borders to travel indefinitely. The Bahamas has again closed its borders to American travelers as confirmed cases in the United States soared past 4 million. The Dominican Republic is nearing 58,000 confirmed coronavirus cases as it passed 1,000 deaths this week. Wow, it is crazy out here. Belize is set to reopen to international travelers on August 15th. All passengers will be tested and there will be a US $50 health screening fee. Dominica says it will reopen its borders to international travelers on August 7th. British Airways will be launching a new route between London, Gatwick, and Montego Bay. Montego. When I see O and E and I'm automatically in Spanish mode. Again, between London, Gatwick, and Montego Bay, Jamaica, beginning on October 13th. Turks and Caicos-based Inter-Caribbean Airways is set to launch nonstop flight service to Grenada's Maurice Bishop International Airport beginning August 1st. Okay, airlines ask US EU for coronavirus testing in order to resume transatlantic flights. And this is from the USA Today. 4 leading air carriers are calling on the United States and the European Union to establish a joint COVID-19 testing program to rebuild confidence in critical transatlantic air travel as the coronavirus pandemic continues. The signatories of the letter dated July 21st include the top executives of United, American, Lufthansa, and International Airways Group, the parent company of British Airways. This is a quote, given the unquestioned importance of transatlantic air travel to the global economy as well as to the economic recovery of our businesses, they wrote, we believe it is critical to find a way to reopen air service between US and Europe. The letter addressed to Vice President Mike Pence. I'm sure he's busy. I am working my nerves with this government. I don't even like to see some of these names. But anyway, the letter addressed to Vice President Mike Pence and Ylva Johansson, European Commissioner for Home Affairs, said testing could be key to providing confidence to permit services to resume without quarantine requirements or other entry restrictions. Why can't we test? Why can't you wear a mask? Put on a mask. I mean, I'm sure most of you are wearing masks, but what about that 5% that gets on the elevator and wants to cough? I mean, that's a problem. That's a problem. Anyway, in Geneva, this is from Reuters, bans on international travel cannot stay in place indefinitely, and countries are going to have to do more to reduce the spread of the novel coronavirus within their borders, the World Health Organization said on Monday. A surge of infections has prompted countries to reimpose some travel restrictions in recent days, with Britain throwing the reopening of Europe's tourism industry into disarray by ordering a quarantine on travelers returning from Spain. Only with strict adherence to health measures, from wearing masks and avoiding crowds, would the world manage to beat the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Health Organization's Director General said in a virtual news briefing. Where these measures are followed, cases go down. Where they are not, cases go up, he said, praising Canada, China, Germany, and South Korea for controlling outbreaks. And yeah, there's a couple of names you didn't hear in there, right? American Airlines is making a clear stand on the COVID-19 face covering debate. On the same day they announced their quarterly numbers, the airline made it clear that flyers must wear a face mask before, during, and after their flight, or face a flight privilege ban. Whoa. Whoa. So what? You show up, you don't have a mask, you can't fly anymore? Bam. Love it. That'll work. And I'm a fan of this because it's in the interest of the public. It's the whole. It's the same reason we have stoplights and you can't run a stoplight. It's the same reason you can't smoke on a plane. You know, that is my right stuff. No. We're talking about the consensus, the collective. Do what's best for us all. We don't have leadership right now. So in this country, so all we have is local, 50 separate local. It is a mess. It is a mess, and you know it's a mess. So I need some feedback. I need you guys' point of view, because I have my point of view as I've put out there quite a bit. But I want to speak to you guys from across the country. Do me a favor, comment. Let me know how it is in your city, in your state, and especially if you're outside the country, let me know how it's going. But back to American Airlines is strengthening their position on flying with face coverings. Wear it or fly with another airline. Gotta love it. In a press release, the carrier announced the new policy to prevent the spread of COVID-19 will be effective on July 29th, 2020. Got a couple of days. Yeah, baby. New policy requires face coverings, banning customers who refuse to wear one. Under the enhanced face covering policy, all American flyers will be required to wear a face covering from the moment they enter their departure airport to the moment they leave their arrival airport. This includes all airport common spaces, including American's Admiral's Lounge. Okay, according to Flyer Talk, to encourage flyers to book international flights, Emirates, gotta love Emirates. I have a video coming out soon on Dubai. Must see on Dubai. If you have not been to Dubai and you have not flown on Emirates, man, you got to try it. So to encourage flyers to book international flights, Emirates is now offering free coverage if a passenger contracts COVID-19 during their trip. Travelers can qualify for up to $173,000 worth of medical expenses and $116 of daily quarantine costs for up to 14 days if they book their trip direct with the airline. So book direct with the airlines. If they're giving you insurance, I mean, that just put them in a whole nother level for me, especially if their planes are not full. I love Emirates, love Emirates. Middle East carrier Emirates wants to help you see the world in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and will provide up to around $174. That's 150,000 euros of medical expense coverage if you contract the novel coronavirus. The airline announced the new offer for flyers who book their trips directly with Emirates or through their travel agent. Coverage includes medical expenses and daily quarantine stipend. The airline's plan applies to travelers who fly aboard Emirates between July 23rd and October 31st of 2020. The free global cover will apply to all flyers, regardless of their class. Gotta love it. Gotta love Emirates, man. During their trip with Emirates, if a flyer ends up with a confirmed case of COVID-19, the airline's free global cover will pay medical expenses up to around $174,000. And I don't know how expensive their hospitals are or wherever you're flying to, but that sounds like a lot of money. And if you are forced to quarantine, the airline will cover the cost of up to $116 per day, 100 euros for up to 14 days. The coverage is subject to terms and conditions. There's always small print, and may require pre-approval. The coverage from Emirates is valid for 31 days after the traveler embarks with the Dubai-based carrier, even if they end up flying onwards to another city. Wow, that's good. The airline promises there are no registration forms to complete. Simply purchase a ticket and you are covered. Wow. Delta turns flights around after multiple passengers refuse to wear masks. Love this story. Airlines and Airports, Delta Airlines, Rich Tomaselli. July 26, 2020. Details are emerging over why a Delta Airlines flight to Atlanta was turned around and returned to Detroit on Thursday. And again, once again, face masks are the issue. According to reports, 2 passengers refused to wear face masks during the flight, a mandate for virtually every airline now, and the plane returned to Detroit Metro Airport in suburban Romulus. Man, I can imagine being on that flight. A Delta spokeswoman told the MLive.com media outlet that the flight was delayed because the passengers were non-compliant with crew instructions. This must have been after the plane had taken off, because otherwise, why take off? The flight did take off. Well, I gotta wonder. The flight did take off again and land in Atlanta after being delayed by the return to Detroit. It is just the latest in a series of issues involving refusals to wear face masks during flights. It happened to American Airlines early this week when a woman was booted off a plane, and it happened on a Spirit airline early this month. Delta in particular has strongly enforced its policy. This week, the airline announced it will now require a virtual medical evaluation from passengers if they have a health condition that prevents them from wearing a face mask. And if it isn't possible, the carrier is asking passengers to reconsider traveling at all. This is a Delta quote. We encourage customers who are prevented from wearing a mask due to a health condition to reconsider travel. Delta said in a statement, if they decided to travel, they will be welcome to fly upon completing a virtual consultation prior to departure at the airport to ensure everyone's safety, because nothing is more important. So I'm not understanding where we are in that right now. Either it's you need a mask or you're going to get this little virtual consultation. I know one thing. If I'm on a plane and somebody has a virtual consultation and they're not wearing a mask, I'm getting off the plane. Just like I have to do here at my elevator. I'm getting off. It just makes no sense. Anyway, so that's what I have for today. I wanted to pass on some travel news to all my travel people. I wanted to let my people in Medellin know what's going on there, and my people in Guatemala know what's going on there as well. Please, wherever you are, give me some feedback. I need to know what's going on in your state. I need to know what's going on in your city. How's the virus? How's it going, especially if you're in another country? If you're in Colombia, let me know how it's going. If you're in Guatemala, let me know how it's going. If you're in Jamaica, I don't care. Just let me know where you're going. If you're in the Philippines or Vietnam, really want to hear from you guys. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, Please click that bell to be alerted of any new videos that I have coming out. Thanks for watching, guys.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it.
Please comment and share if you liked the video.
Please subscribe. Kick the bell.